The former governor of South Carolina, Mark Sanford, is running against President Trump for the Republican nomination. He says the party's lost its way. President Trump just tweeted about it. Here we go. When the former governor of the great state of South Carolina, Mark Sanford, was reported missing, only to then say he was away hiking on the Appalachian Trail, then was found in Argentina with his flaming dancer friend, it sounded like his political career was over. It was. But then he ran for Congress and won, only to lose his re-elect after I tweeted my endorsement on Election Day for his opponent. But now take heart. He's back and running for president of the United States. The Three Stooges, all badly failed candidates, will give it a go. Come on in, former South Carolina Senator Jim DeMint. Why do you think this Mark Sanford is running?
Stuart, I'm sure Mark's heart is in the right place, but Donald Trump is very popular among Republican primary voters, and from a conservative policy perspective, he's been one of the best presidents in a long, long time.
Well, wait a minute. You think that Mark Sanford's heart is in the right place when he says this kind of thing about the president?
Well, I'm trying to give my friend the benefit of the doubt here, and generally Mark is very principled when it comes to political policy ideas. But in this case, I don't think it's going to help the country, or certainly not help the GOP, to have people coming in like this and attacking him when he's got all he can deal with the mainstream media and the far left.
Now, speaking of South Carolina, you say that Joe Biden must win that state if he's going to get the Democrat nomination. Why is South Carolina so important?
Well, South Carolina Democrats are more middle-of-the-road, moderate Democrats. They're not far left. And Joe Biden has positioned himself to capture those votes all over the country. If he can't win those votes in South Carolina, it's very unlikely that he is going to be able to get the votes in the primary season to get the nomination.
There is a very strong, very large African-American component to the South Carolina demographic, I think.
There certainly is, and Joe has built a career, I think, serving African Americans. Again, it would be important for him to demonstrate in South Carolina that he could get African American votes as well as the more moderate Democrats.
Do you see him going the distance?
Joe Biden?
Yeah.
I think if he has a couple of early losses, he will be out because he's building his whole campaign on this inevitable idea that he's the only one who can win. I think that's pretty unlikely. What I've seen in my experience in politics, Stuart, that if everybody knows who you are and 2/3 of the voters want somebody else, that's a hard road to win a primary.
Well said, Mr. Senator. Thanks for joining us, Jim. Always a pleasure. Thank you very much
indeed. Stuart.
Sure thing.